Hi everyone, welcome back to a Scratch series. In today's brand new video, we are going to explore operators block in Scratch. Operator blocks provide you arithmetic, logical, comparison, text and trigonometric functions which you can use in various programs. These are kind of a backbone of any program, whether it is a game or any kind of animation. We will see each and every block in detail. So let's move to the Scratch editor. Operator blocks provide you arithmetic and logical backbone of your program. So if you need some calculations or some logic based decisions in any of your programs, so you will be using operator blocks a lot. Let's familiarize ourselves with various operator blocks. As you can see here, when you select operator blocks, all these blocks pop up. Let's start one by one. First 4 to 5 blocks are related to various mathematical operations, as we have already seen in various previous videos. These blocks basically perform mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. All you can do is write any of the numbers, or you can even use your variables, and when you run that you will simply get the answer. If you want to see that in your stage area, just select any event and display the result here on canvas. As you can see, the direct addition is given here. Similarly, there are other operations also such as subtraction, multiplication. You can use any of these to perform mathematical operations. Then after, we can see here a block named pick random number from 1 to 10. So this block provides you any of random number between the given range. If I give here between 1 to 100, and when I run this, it will give me a random number from 1 to 100. Every time I click here, different random number will be given. This block is particularly important in game development when there are various characters and various animations are always running. You need this random block to generate various situations. Then after, we can see there are comparison blocks. Let's take this one. So this comparison block is basically to compare two values. If two values are equal, one is greater than the other or smaller than the other, we can simply, let's write here 60 is greater than 50. Now, as you can see, the shape of the block is a little bit different than this one. This is kind of oval and it has triangular edges, so it's not compatible here. Basically, this kind of comparison blocks are normally used in control blocks. Let's say we use an if block. So here what happens is that if I use the if block, so if this particular condition is true, 60 is greater than 50, obviously it is true. So if it is true, then it will say hello. If I run this, as you can see here, it is saying hello. Now if I have written such like this condition is false, so right now the result will be 0. If I simply just erase the old, and now let's see, if you see I have run this but still no result. If you want to see very particular thing, then let's use if and else condition. So if the result is true, it will show true here, and if the result is false, it will print false here. Let's run this. False. As you can see, since this condition is false, it's writing here false. If I write 100 and make the condition true, it will print true. So you can select this greater than, less than or equal to. All blocks perform the same operation, comparing two values and giving the answer in yes or no or true or false. So the next part of the blocks are these logical blocks. There are 3 blocks given to us, and, or, and, not. You can compare two different conditions using this and an or block. How we can do that? Let's understand here. Here I have already written the block. I am taking a number from the user and saving that as number variable. Now what I want to do is, I want to check that whether the number given by the user is satisfying two different conditions or not. Now what two different conditions? I want to check if the number is greater than 0, I want a positive number, and the second condition is I want to check if the number is less than 100. So basically I want to check if the given number by user is within the range of 0 to 100. So I will use this kind of, right? The number user will be given, it will be greater than 0 and it will be less than 100. Then and then only this entire block will be true. Let's put that in this program. Now let's run this. Enter a number, let me enter 25. So the condition is true. Now if I again run this and I enter 125, the condition will be false because it doesn't satisfy this condition. 25 is greater than 0, but not this one. Okay, so this condition will be false. If I want this block to be true, then both the conditions should be satisfied. In OR block, either one of the conditions should be satisfied. Let's check that also. If I choose this OR block, then what will happen is that if one of the condition is satisfied, then also it will say true. Let's check this. If I will enter 125 now, it will say true because this condition is satisfied. 125 is greater than 0, even if it is not less than 100, but we have used OR, so one of the two conditions should be satisfied. If one is satisfied, then it will be true, otherwise it will be false. Okay. Similarly, you can use NOT also. NOT is basically whatever you give in this particular triangle. If the opposite of that is true, then NOT block will be true. It will be executed. Next part, we will see some string related operators here. So string related operators, they allow us to perform various text or string related functions. Let's see all of them one by one. Okay, now I want to just show you how this join block will work. So join block basically performs, you can combine two different text. Okay, so text 1 and text 2. If you want to combine two different text, you just use join block and click here. So you will see text 1 and text 2, both of them are combined as a single text. Okay, so that is text. Another one is letter. Basically what happens here is that in string, the apple is actually a combination of 5 different characters. So A, P, P, L, E. So you can, if you want to access each of the characters individually, you can use this letter block. Letter 1 of apple, that is A, right? So if I run this, it will print A. If I want 4th character, I will just write 4, and as you can see, L is printed here. If you want to access any of these characters individually from long text, you can do this with letter block. If I want length of a particular text, for example, hello scratch, right? If I write this, and if I want length of this text, I simply need length of the, as you can see, it is given 16. Next block, this one. If I want to check that a particular character is part of a string or not, I can use this one. Again, due to the size of this block, it is only compatible with if block. So now, if I want to see if scratch contains this particular character, then I need to write it like this, yes, or otherwise it will not give us any output. Okay, so as you can see, the scratch contains A, so it should give yes. Okay, right? If it doesn't, for example, if I write Z, then it won't give any output. If I would have written an if else block, then it would have shown no also. Okay, so these are all the text related blocks. Now let's see some mathematical blocks, advanced mathematical blocks. This one is modular division. Now what is modular division? Whenever you divide one number with two number, you get two results. One is the dividend and the other one is modular or the remainder. If I divide 9 with 2, okay, so answer should be 4, but division answer should be 4, but modular division will give you the remainder of that. Okay, let's compare. If I just divide 9 with 2, okay, so here the answer should be 4.5. Okay, 9 divided by 2, 4.5. But here, if I want the remainder of this operation, then it will give me 1. The answer should be 1 here. So this is how modular division and normal division is different. Next block is round off function. Basically, if you are having any floating point numbers like this, and if you want to convert it into a simple integer number, you can use this round block. If I execute this, it will give me the nearest integer number. If it is 4.666, it will give me 5. Okay, if I just write, for example, 4.444, it should give me 4. Okay, here. You can directly just click this block and it will show you the result just below. So that's how this particular block is useful. Next is a set of blocks. As you can see here, When you click here, you get a range of trigonometric functions here and mathematical functions here. If I want to check absolute, ABS is for absolute value. If you write a negative number 56, right, so it will give you the absolute value of 56. So that is how absolute works. Then after floor, if I'm giving any floating point number and if I want lower value of that, so I can use floor, it will give me 4. If I use ceiling, it will give me the value of higher end. Okay, both are rounding off, but the method is different. Floor will give you the lower end of the value and ceiling will give you the higher end of the value. Then after square root, if you want to find square root of any number, just use this square root function. Another one is trigonometric function sine, cosine, tan. If I want the answer of sine 90 degree, the value given here should be in degrees. That sine 90 degree is 1. Okay, so you can use that way. Another useful is log natural. If you want log natural value of any number, then it should be written here. Okay, so if you need inverse logarithmic value, then also if you 10 raised to 10, the answer should be like this. So these are all the operator blocks. Operator blocks are definitely very much useful in all the programs. In many of the programs, you need to perform various calculations, make some decisions based on various conditions. In those all the programs, you need this kind of blocks. Now let's create a complete program. For example, I want 3 values from user and I want to check which of the value is the largest or the maximum number, right? So let me quickly arrange the values. So I have quickly arranged the blocks. I have basically tried to take 3 variables from user, first number, second number and third number, and I'm saving them as A, B and C. Now in the next part, I want to calculate and check which number given by the user A, B and C is maximum. Okay. So there are various approaches to perform this program, but I am going to use operators maximum here. What I will do is I want to check whether a given number is greater than the rest of the 2 number or not. So I will use AND operator. Okay, again it is a comparison, so I will use this comparison block. Okay, now I want to check if number A is greater than number B or not. Similarly, I want to check in the same sentence if number A is greater than number C also. So if number is greater than B and it is greater than C, then definitely A is the maximum number here. For that, to display that, I need an if condition. Let me write that here. Okay, here. So if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, so obviously A is the maximum number here. I can directly just say it. Okay, I will use the join block. So in this situation, you will need join, right? You can write here largest number is or maximum number is, and then after I will use the A because that is the maximum number here. Simply let's run. Let's say 45, A is 45, then after it is 12. Let me give another number, third number is 9. So since A is largest, it is showing me that largest number is 45. Similarly, I need to write a similar condition for B also and C also in order to check that whenever B is greater than or C is greater than. So I just need to swap if B is greater than A and B is greater than C, then the largest number is B. Okay. Similarly, I need to check that if C is greater than A and C is greater than B, then obviously the largest number is C. Okay. Just cleaning the code panel. Okay, so A, B and C, the entire logic is complete. Now whatever value you give here, for example, let's say the first number is this, second number is this, the third number is this. So it will give me that the largest number is 127 based on the conditions that we have set up here. So this is one of the ways in which you can use various operator blocks. You can see here we have used one of the condition checking, then AND logical operator. We have also used join operator. So using this kind of operator blocks, you can create various different programs, and those contains various mathematical operations. Okay. So that's all for this video. In next video we will use more of such blocks to perform some mathematical operations. So see you in the next video. Thank you very much.